An island floats in the calm waters of the Seto Inland Sea in the western part of Japan. On its shore is the Itsukushima Shrine, a fine example of traditional Japanese religious architecture. History tells us that the shrine was founded towards the end of the 6th century. The present-day shrine dates to the beginning of the 12th century, when the ruler of the time built it as we see it today. It's constructed on platforms supported by stilts, a reflection of the imperial palace culture which was in fashion at the time. The gently sloping roofs are thatched with the bark of the Japanese cypress known as the sun tree. Traditional Japanese architecture, noted for its extensive use of wood, has created an elegant art form which is based on various combinations of interlocking timbers. The beauty of the wooden structure that supports the roof is one of the characteristics of traditional Japanese buildings. The Itsukushima Shrine consists of more than 20 separate buildings. Of these, the main hall and the east and west galleries have all been declared national treasures. In many regions of Japan, there still exist castles built in medieval times when warriors were fighting for control of the country. One of them is Himeji Castle, famous for its outstandingly beautiful construction. The central citadel is 7 stories high, with its top 46 meters above the foundations of the stone walls. Himeji Castle was built 400 years ago, and its construction took 8 years to complete. Although made of wood, the walls are covered with a thick layer of white plaster to defend the castle from enemy attack as well as fire. The most important part of the castle is the central citadel with its tiled roof. Here too, a beautiful wooden structure can be seen under the eaves. Inside the central citadel, massive wooden pillars and beams interlock with each other to provide support for the tall structure. The staircase, windows and shutters are also all made of wood. When the shutters are closed, it becomes very dark inside. This was to confuse any hostile intruders. This is the main wooden pillar that supports the entire building. It's by far the thickest single piece of timber in the castle and interlocks with overhead joists. The strong design and structure of castles like this one served as models for succeeding generations of builders. In the middle of Japan's main island is the Toshogu Shrine, surrounded by a dense cedar forest. The Toshogu Shrine was built 380 years ago, and it's a fine example of an architectural fusion of shrine and temple. The main entrance to the compound is through the very ornate Yomei-mon, or Yomei Gate. The gate is 11 meters high and decorated with more than 500 carvings. The abundant decorations, painted in red, green, blue, black, white, and gold, make the gate an extremely colorful structure. Because of its incredible ornamentation, the Yomei-mon is considered to be the culmination of the art of its time, and the structure has been designated a national treasure. The delightful carvings which adorn the buildings in the shrine's precincts are in total harmony with the surroundings. The main hall itself is almost totally covered with carved decorations. The paintings on the ceiling give a sumptuous feeling to the entire building. The interior of the main hall follows the so-called Shoin style of construction, where a large space is divided into many rooms. Modern Japanese architecture derives from this style. Magnificent carvings also decorate the walls of the main hall. Now let's take a look at the history of Japanese wooden architecture and examine how it developed. The use of timber for construction in Japan began with the building of ancient temples and residences of the nobility. This is the Horyuji Temple in the city of Nara, once the capital of Japan. Designated a national treasure, the temple's Golden Hall is the oldest wooden building in the world. It was built in the 7th century. Construction of the building is based on a complex design of interlocking timbers, and the hall has a tiled roof. This style is believed to have been introduced to Japan from China. The tiles are embossed with reliefs depicting the Chinese plants that were the symbols of Buddhism.